Merry Christmas to you all! Now, I have not been putting up any lately, and that's because I'm in my exam period, my final exam period, so that kind of took priority over LarpForge. I know, it sucks. But that doesn't mean there's gonna be any Christmas episode. It's here right now. Now, to get this out of the way, there's not gonna be any more Christmas episode this year, and probably not more episodes this time of New Year. Why? Now, places you could go and look. Now, I mentioned this. There's Artifacts, which is an English weapon company. I mentioned it before, but that's because I mentioned them again because I think they are so awesome, and I don't think I mentioned their DeviantArt page, which is the page you're gonna look if you need some inspiration. They make some awesome foam and latex armor and weapons, and they are really good at putting it out on the web. Now, other places you can go look is, of course, here, if you are on Tumblr, there's Larb Couture, which talks about Larb in a more culture speaking way, well, not Larb, but what you could call the fashion of Larb. If you're making a costume, if you're making weapons, all that stuff. Another place you could go look is the Larb Girl, which is on Tumblr and YouTube. You can go ask her questions about being a female Larper and her perspective on things, and she will answer them for you. Other blogs that might be worth mentioning is Nordic Larb, for instance. Or if you are on Facebook, Larb's looking for international audience. So, which is basically a page, if you have a international Larb, you can post it there. For instance, I think I saw a Larb for Battlestar Galactica not so long ago. Not bad. And now that all this is out of the way, let's continue on to the ebooks, which is kind of my little gift to you. Over the years I found a lot of material online for Larb and about Larb that is free, and it's in book form. And well, it is real books. You can also sometimes get them for free online. Legal, I might point out, legal online. Now, if you don't know the Roleplay Academy or Rollespilsakademiet, I don't blame you. It's a Danish company that works with roleplay and LARPing on a daily basis. They've been in Greenland, and they do a lot of the stuff here in Denmark and the countries just around here. And they're really good at it. But if you haven't been to their web, you should really go and check out the web shop. Why? Because they have a lot of free books in there. I mean, free books in PDF format, of course. Now, a lot of the books are in Danish, but there's also a really lot of the books that are in English. For instance, the books from Knudepunkt, which is the Nordic LARP convention between countries. It's Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and I think there are some other countries, but I don't remember. That's at least the original ones. And these books are really, really good if you're looking into doing LARP professionally, or just if you're looking into LARP theory. Why? Because they contain all the experience from the different countries put together at each convention. Normally, at each convention, they put out a book. For instance, this one is from 2003, and they have the Dogma 99. They're talking about interaction, key elements of LARP, story models, personal experience, audience, developing ideas, project management, character design, good basic LARP, good basic knowledge for a LARP organization. And it's really good books. And if nothing else, it's really interesting to read a book written by LARP. Interesting to read books written by LARPers about LARP for LARPers. The last book is Dragonbane Legacy, which is a book written about the scenario Dragonbane, which is one of the most awesome scenarios ever. Why, you might ask? Well, they build a freaking dragon, and I've not seen anything like it since then. If you are interested in looking into this, then you can still go to the webpage. It's still online. Hopefully it will be a lot longer. And they still have the schematics for the dragon and everything. Now, if you're not really into books that much, then fair enough. I still recommend you go out and read these. They are really interesting. If not for anything else, it's because they're written by LARPers for LARPers about LARP. It's really just lovely. If you're not into the books that much, there are these magazines. Or a lot more, actually. For instance, this one. This is the Danish roleplay, or rollespil. It's a Danish magazine, so if you're not Dane or understand Danish, you might not get so much out of it. But what's very cool is this one is put out as a free PDF format. Now, the physical copy actually costs money now, but they still put out this copy for free online. So if you want to go check it out, then you go to this link here. The next magazine is a German magazine called LarpForge, where they sometimes make international copies in English. Now this one is the only one I found for free. So, but still a pretty good read. There's a really good article on Mythodea, Conquest of Mythodea. There's some vampire makeup and other stuff. Anyway, I'm really hoping they're gonna do one more of these. I was just lucky to get this one for free at the local LARP store. Other magazines, there are other magazines. There are the International Playground magazine, which as far as I understood is a mixture of Nordic LARP and International LARP. Yeah, correct me somewhere if I'm wrong. Other international magazines, well, there are this one, the Roleplay magazine, which recently changed their name to Live Action magazine. The magazine is not actually out yet. It's in the current state, it's a Kickstarter project, and they're looking for a bit of funds. Anyway, it could be really cool to have more international magazines. I'm just hoping they're gonna put out a free PDF format, so I don't have to order it all the way from the United States and all that postal service stuff. Well, okay. Well, let's look at something else. So what about videos, you might say? Now I'm not going to cover everything there is, because there's a lot, and have a lot come out this year. I don't want to mention all the web series, all the videos, all the films, anything. You can go out and search for LARP or roleplay web series stuff yourself, and you already know a bunch of it. Now, but I've got to give you this little video, or link to this video. It's a documentary of the scenario Delirium, which was a scenario, Insanum Asylum scenario, done in a little different way, and it might inspire you to do LARP a little different. I can't remember if I've ever given you the link before, but still, it's a pretty, to me, it's a pretty inspiring documentary about what LARP actually can be and how it can be done. And I'm hoping it's gonna be that to you too. But that's it for this year, and I'm gonna wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then we'll see you next year. In the meantime, I like to show you a bit of this, that is my exam project. It's a web series based on D&D and LARP and just fantasy in general.